Several years ago, on September 20th of the year 2021, as an experiment I toyed with the menu of the Reforged client to see how it would feel if it looked visually like the old 2003 game menu. Other people saw this and wished that they could have it, but I was adamant for folks that changing the Reforged client in this way fixes nothing of our technical problems. On a different occasion within that first year after Reforged released, I also toyed with how it would look if I did a local override to the Reforged client so that it would use the classic graphic model files while the game was playing in the Reforged graphic mode. Having tried both of these hacks as weekend or evening projects, I discarded them because they did not greatly interest me. Today, Microsoft Activision announced Warcraft 3 Reforged version 2.0. This version number is significant because we were on version 1.2 for about 10 years, and then version 1.3 for about the last 5 years. So, you can imagine that the version number 2.0 suggests more progress than what we have seen in the last 15 years. Isn't that inspiring? They even added a new background for the loading screen. But, it turns out, if you actually play the game, it is very little more than those 2 weekend or evening hacks that I threw away a few years ago, slapped onto the Reforged client with a couple more minutes of polish than what I did in my test hacks to give it a fresh coat of paint. They also fed some of the classic files through one of those old AI upscale programs. I tried the same thing a few years ago and displayed the results in one of my YouTube videos, but then I mostly forgot about it. I don't think the viewers noticed. It's difficult to beat the charm of the original graphics, and when I fed them through AI, they tended to either look the same or have visual artifacts. It was easier to use the original authentic game data than to bother to find my AI upscaled copy of the game just for a few extra pixels. Now that Microsoft spent a few hours doing these nice hacks to the system for you, they are hoping that you will get inspired for their awesome Reforged version 2.0 project. To boost your inspiration, they have even included these promotional pictures of a rendition of how some people wish Reforged version 2.0 looked visually, even though it doesn't. Some people thought this seemed like false advertising, and by the time you watch this video, these original images that were used to promote Reforged version 2.0 on its launch day might be difficult to find. But we can all agree that if you imagine what it would feel like to have a version of Warcraft 3 that was upscaled in this way, even though it does not exist, hypothetically that would be a really cool thing. Also, if you have ever heard of a custom Reforged campaign called Chronicles of the Second War, where the fans spent many years making a reimagined 3D version of Warcraft 2, it is worth noting that many of the map terrain in this campaign and many of the custom unit portraits are broken in today's patch and will not load properly because of changes in the Reforged version 2.0 that overwrote Reforged terrain and changed the software that determines what portrait to show for custom units, among other things. However, you can rest assured that because fans of Warcraft 3 the world around have probably spent more time trying to create their custom Warcraft 3 content than the entire time that anyone at Blizzard, Activision, or Microsoft ever spent making or updating Warcraft 3, I think we can all rest assured that the volunteers over at the Lorecraft project who make the Chronicles of the Second War will surely remake all of their campaign units and terrain as part of this unannounced transition. It sure is nice to have free labor. The user Insane Monster, who created the custom campaign called Reforged that seeks to update the game campaigns in the way that Reforged advertised, but failed to do, will also remake the terrain and custom units on his custom campaign as well, because he loves you from the bottom of his heart. It sure is nice to have free labor. But who am I kidding, really? Studies show that Reforged will make more than enough money from World of Warcraft players who buy it for the meat wagon trophy mount and who do not bother to actually play Reforged. What about you? Will you do the same? I, for one, recorded this awesome YouTube video 5 years ago titled No Regrets. I am the greatest Death Knight, and I ride through New Avalon on my mighty meat wagon. When I press the spacebar, I launch corpse balls of death upon my enemies. As the Lich King commands, I kill whoever I want, even if they are in their houses, cowering and screaming in fear. Suck on this, Lorecraft. Suck on that, insane monster. My sword is more powerful and can kill any of the humans in their homes that I wish, exactly as my quest objective commands. May the Reforge be with you.